So, guess what? I have
What?
finally finished Cloud Cuckoo Land.
Ooh, the book that I recommended to you.
Yes,
How did you like it?
I loved it.
Yeah.
Such an interesting storyline,
And
not
the
even one storyline.
and the ending?
The ending
Yeah.
is mind-blowing. I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads. It's a rare
Ooh.
thing, but that book definitely was worth it.
Yeah.
Every star that I
Yeah.
gave it.
You're reading a lot lately.
Yes, actually. And so do you.
Yes,
I
I
mean, we
am.
have always been readers.
I think I'm already more than halfway to my end of the year goal for my 2026 reading challenge. I think I'm already around 30 books, which is crazy. I know, it's a lot. I'm
It
I'm
is a
reading a
lot.
lot.
Yes, me too. Last year for me was the breakthrough, probably.
Yeah.
Because again, as I mentioned, and we had an entire episode about it, like we have always been readers, we loved
Yeah.
reading books, but last year was crazy for me because I read more than like 60 books, I guess.
Wow.
And it
I
was all like, okay,
yeah.
like,
My
give me
reading
more.
my reading challenge every year is 50.
Hmm.
So yes, I did do that last year. But it's one of our biggest
Hobbies
hobbies
right
and
now.
like the one hobby, one of a few I think that we have in
Uh-huh.
common.
Yeah.
Maybe we should talk about hobbies
Let's
today.
talk about hobbies today, but I just wanted to mention one thing about the reading. I'm sure that one of the things that stimulated me to read is the app that you recommended,
Yeah.
Goodreads. So this is the app we talked about it before, where you can track all of the books that you have read, like through your entire life, if you
Yeah.
can remember them. And then you can keep track of the books that you want to read, and then again, the books that you are currently reading,
Yeah.
and there are different challenges. And for me, it's very stimulating because it's always like you check once you read the book, you mark it as read, and then you're like, oh my God, how many books have I read
Yeah.
this year? How many books have I read last year? How many
I
books have I
love
read like through my entire life?
Yeah, I love looking at that tracking
Yeah, me
thing. Yeah,
too.
it's
Me
so
too.
fun.
So
Yeah.
it's very
But
stimulating
speaking of hobbies, I know reading, we could talk about reading and
forever.
books and
Yeah.
things forever, but maybe, I mean, I know that you have a few hobbies these
I
days.
do.
Yeah. What's one
However,
big one, prominent one for
you
you?
know, I was talking to a friend of mine about this the other day, and I realized that when I was younger, not when I was a teenager, when I was a kid or a teenager, I didn't really have any hobbies.
Oh,
Yes, I know,
really?
surprisingly. I was trying to remember, and I was like, I was never into like stuff.
Oh,
Never.
I feel kind of the opposite. Like I had so many things that I did when I was a kid. I had a tiger mom growing up.
Okay.
So I had a lot of things that I did as a kid. And then now I'm just kind of like, oh, my hobbies are kind of
So
bored. I like them, but they're I guess can like they're not like unique or fun or whatever. I
this
mean,
is
for
the
me they're
thing.
fun.
This is the thing that I wanted to say that when I was a kid, I didn't have any hobbies that
Yeah.
I can talk about. But then when I was a young adult, like 20 plus, I did have a lot of hobbies. I even
Yeah.
had this thing where I would dedicate a year of my life trying to learn something new.
That's a good idea.
Yes, I did this for a couple of years. Maybe I should get back to it actually
Yeah.
and try doing it again.
That's a really good idea.
So I have a lot of hobbies that I can talk about from that period of my life.
Hmm.
But now I was like, oh my God, I don't really have a lot of hobbies. And
Well,
it's like, it's sad. We're adults. Like, what happened to us?
you actually have a few, and these, okay, you know what I think it is? Now that I'm reflecting, just a very fast reflect right now,
Uh-huh.
but we are dedicating more time to the things we like.
Oh,
So like
I love it.
reading for me, it takes up so much of my free time. Like
Uh-huh.
I will pick up a book if I ever have any moment of rest or relaxation, and so that is takes up a significant amount of time in my
Yeah,
week, right? And I know
that's so true.
another big hobby of yours is running.
Yes,
And
running.
again, that takes up a lot of time,
That takes up a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a
energy.
lot of money.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that is another hobby that I have picked up last year. Well, actually, I've picked it up quite a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
but it did not stick because I
Mm,
was doing it to accompany my friend, and I was always saying that like make me do whatever you want, but running. Like I hated running.
Yeah.
It was like never my sport. And I was always like, oh my God, I hate running. Like I can't
Mm,
run, like blah, blah, blah. Then I got into it and I would run for a couple of seasons, like a couple of summers.
hmm.
And I guess that it started actually in 2022. So like
Okay.
actually 4 years ago.
Hmm.
But I would run the entire summer. And again, maybe not every week. I'm not even talking about a couple of weeks, a
Yeah.
couple of times a week. But then last year, it stuck with me. I started running and I was like, you know what? I guess that I'm gonna run. And I am enjoying it so much right now. I
I,
mean, it's still tough. I still have to compromise every time I'm going for a
yeah.
run. I have to fight my demons.
It's a mental
It's a
fight.
mental fight every single time
Yeah.
because your brain is like, you know what, chill, relax.
Yeah.
Why? We don't need to do that. But I can see the benefits of it, and I am very much enjoying it for not only for my physical health, but also for my mental health.
Yeah, the adrenaline rush that you also get at the end is it releases those endorphins and it
It
makes you feel
releases
good.
those endorphins, yes. And also, it's if we're talking about the hobbies, it's something like the new area that I never was thinking about. That like
Mm,
there are actually so many things in
yeah.
running. There is like a science behind it, the actual science. So I started researching some stuff about like biomechanics, how your body work, right? How your body works, about your muscles, about your joints, about the actual movements, then about
Yeah.
like biochemistry, what are some processes happening in your muscles and your brain when you exercise, how you
Efficiency.
recover, and
Yeah.
all of that stuff. So much information
Hmm.
that when you're reading about it and you're like, wow, like this is amazing. And then when you can apply the things that you read about, and then when you can apply them in practice, like when you run, it also gives me so much joy.
Nice.
So yeah, that's the hobby that is stuck
And
with me now.
unexpected
Very unexpected.
because you hated it.
Exactly. Yeah, because I hated it. I mean, like people who knew me, they would be very surprised that I'm running. I mean, my closest friends are now like, what? Like running? Like, okay,
Hmm.
whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was never something that I thought would stick with me. Yeah. What about you? What else do you do nowadays?
I mean, yeah, like I said, reading takes up a large amount of my time, but the rest of my time, my free time, when it comes to hobbies, I'm very much into puzzling. So
Okay.
puzzles in general, like
Mm-hmm.
I do jigsaw puzzles a lot. I am very into jigsaw puzzles. I like to do kind of larger ones, so the ones that are
Mm-hmm.
2000 pieces and above. And I will, yeah, I love just like listening to a podcast or listening to music and then just working on a puzzle. It's a really good, I can't do one thing, just one
Mm-hmm.
thing. So it's a great way for me to be doing a couple things at once. So I'm listening
Mm-hmm.
to something while I'm doing a puzzle. I like doing that. And then puzzling in general. So I do
Like so all of those brain
brain
teasers.
teasers, that type of thing. I like escape
Mm-hmm.
rooms. I do as many escape rooms. I'm actually doing one later today with some
Yay!
friends. And I also like, crossword puzzles,
Mhm.
Sudoku, and trivia types of things like that. So a lot of my time is spent with puzzling.
I never learned how. I love puzzles,
Yeah.
like the ones at Puzzle Pint.
Yeah.
Like I love those. But again, when it comes to numbers, because you mentioned Sudoku, I never learned how to do those. It's like whenever there are numbers in a puzzle, I'm like, nope, I'm checking
It's
out.
it's
Bye,
it's
peace out.
numbers, but it's not math.
Still, it's numbers. And I guess maybe because my brain doesn't like numbers so much. So the moment it sees the numbers in the puzzle, it's like, nope, peace
I
out.
see, I
I'm
see.
gone.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's funny. Yeah, I think those are kind of my main things in terms of, hobbies that I like to do. Obviously, the podcast. This is a
Yes.
big
This is the another
hobby
shared
of
hobby of us.
ours, I guess.
Mhm.
But I also really like musicals. I know this is something that you and I do
Yeah.
not have in common. I love musicals. I love not just going to see musicals, but I like stories behind. I like learning about, the preparation to like produce a musical.
Uh-huh.
I like movies about musicals. I like musical based movies. I, me and like one of my friends who also really likes musicals, we actually made a trip out to New York a couple years ago
Uh-huh.
just to go to Broadway.
Wow, that is a
And
dedication.
we saw one of our favorite musical actors
Was
of
it
all
the one
time.
with Daniel Radcliffe?
It had Daniel Radcliffe, so the musical was called Merrily We Roll Along. Daniel Radcliffe was a bonus, like that was cool.
Uh-huh.
Harry Potter, cool to see live. But Jonathan Groff, he is
I remember. This is the
yes,
guy from the
Mindhunter.
Mindhunter.
Yeah.
Oh,
So he's an
he's
actor, but
awesome.
he made his he's famous because he's a Broadway actor,
Hmm.
and he was in that show. So we went to see him.
Oh, I'm
He's
jealous
it
now.
was amazing. And then we saw a couple of other shows as well while we were there. And, just about the Broadway producers, like Andrew Lloyd Webber and all of these. Okay, never mind. But anyway,
No, no, no. I would love
this
to
is a
learn.
whole
I've
thing.
seen you there.
We like to talk about it amongst my friends. We make plans to see a few every year here in Toronto. The last one that I saw actually a couple weeks ago, I went to see Chicago.
Chicago. Oh, I saw that it was the Moulin Rouge, no?
No, I did see Moulin Rouge, I think last year, but no,
Okay.
a couple weeks ago I saw Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
which was it's one of those classic musicals that I haven't seen live
Oh,
that I was really excited to see
nice.
live. So, yeah, I got to see that. Anyway, that's a big hobby for me
That
right
is
now.
awesome. I would see that I would put it not in the list on the list of hobbies, but more like interests. I guess
Yeah.
that I have the same kind of interest for the Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
like the books and the movies. And I follow a bunch of people online who are like nerds,
Yeah.
and they have like PhDs in Tolkienism or in the Lord of the Rings, whatever.
And
And
can speak Elvish.
they can speak Elvish, they know all of the characters, they know
Yeah.
all of the timelines, and not only in The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, but also in tons of other books that Tolkien has written, not
Mm,
written, wrote. And so this is one of my other interests
yeah.
that I love sometimes just like doom scrolling and listening different like stories or
Yeah.
explanations about the Lord of the Rings lore.
Not
So
just Lord
that's
of the
kind of my
Rings, but for
yeah, I
you,
mean Star Wars as
Star
well.
Wars is
But the thing is that Star Wars is awesome, amazing. I love it. But for the Lord of the Rings, the lore is bigger, and
mm,
there is actually so many books that Tolkien wrote, and not only books, but also the letters that he would write to his fans or to his friends, talking about some details of the
like
books or
Easter
the
eggs or
events, like
things.
some Easter eggs. So it's like a whole, like I'm telling you,
It's
it's
a
like
world.
science. It's
Yeah.
like science. So those people, the nerdy people that I'm talking about online, they actually have like they possess such knowledge that would make them like experts in this area. Yeah,
Interesting.
so Star Wars, love it, amazing, but I guess that the lore there is still like a little bit humbler than the one in The Lord of the Rings.
I just finished rewatching the
Oh,
trilogy.
I do that like once a year for sure.
Really?
Like once a year.
So it's interesting. I'm embarrassed to tell you this, but I don't think I've ever watched fully The Return of the King. I'm sorry,
How are we friends?
but I did watch it,
Oh
and
my
it was very good. It was long.
Oh, but still, like these movies are like the greatest so far that
Mm.
humanity have created. Yeah.
What are some other hobbies that you currently have right now?
So I do not know if we can say that it's a hobby, but I really got into houseplants.
Oh, yeah, that's a
So
hobby, like gardening, taking
yeah,
care of
this is
plants.
a recurring hobby
Yeah,
because when I lived in Ukraine and the school where I used to work at, it was a language school. It's called Polyglot. I had my room, my classroom, and in that classroom I had a huge window with a very wide window sill, which is a luxury apparently here in Canada
it
because the
is
window sills here are just like tiny, like five
tiny.
centimeters wide. Anyway, and what happened for some like Teacher's Day or Women's Day or whatever, my students would bring me like a pot of a plant, like
Mm-hmm.
a house plant.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we started naming them. We started giving them names. And of course, in between different groups of students, it became the competition. They started like bringing me small pods, big pods, the blossoming ones, not blossoming ones, and naming them. And they would be like occupying the entire window seal with the
Wow.
names. Like we would write the name in some beautiful font, like color it was different pencils, like put a sticker on it on the pot. So, and I was taking care of all of those plants, and there were
Wow.
a lot. There
Yeah.
were a lot. And then, of course, when I came to Canada, I couldn't take all my
Of
plants with
course.
me. Some of my favorite plants, of course, my mom is now taking care of them. So
Oh,
very,
they're
they're still
still,
there.
wow.
They're still there. And yes, when I talk to my mom, I'm like, Mom, how's Benjamin doing? She's like, oh, he's fine. Like we repotted him and like blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, thank you for taking care of my baby.
That's so
So
nice.
yeah, my mom is taking care of some of the plants, but here in Canada, I didn't have any plants. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
why, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a friend, actually, Roxy. She was on one of our episodes talking about zero waste lifestyle. And she has a lot of plants, like a lot of plants,
Mm-hmm.
different sizes, different styles of plants. And she gave me some clippings. She was like, you know what? Do you want some clippings? I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, why not? Give it to me. So she gave it to me. I potted them and they started growing like crazy. And I
Nice.
got one more. And then we have another friend who used to work with us,
Mm-hmm.
Simon. And Simon was like, Helen, do you want some clippings of this and that? And I'm like, sure. So she brought me more. And now I have a little garden at home. I
Nice.
actually forgot to tell you that one of the babies that you wanted is ready. So I'm going to
Yay.
bring it to you the next
Awesome.
time I see you. So I got it a little
Little
green
green thumb.
fingering. Yes, yes.
I like having plants around, but I don't know how good I am at taking care of them because they don't last very long. But I do have a couple that have lasted for a while now. So yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And
okay.
I'm still giving them the names. So the ones that I have at my house now, like
Yeah.
they
Oh,
also
they have
all have
names.
names. Of
Okay. You'll have to
course.
introduce me to them.
Definitely.
I
However, I'll do that.
Nice, nice. I don't know if this would be considered a hobby, but we're both into camping these days.
Yes.
We have actually a few camping trips planned in the next little while, which very excited about. So I think that would be considered
Yeah,
a hobby
I
or
guess
an
so, because
interest.
it is something that, first off, we know stuff about,
Yeah.
right? And also, this is something that we enjoy and something that we do regularly.
Yeah.
Because for the past 2 years, we've been actively camping, and
Yes.
this is the third year that we're going to be doing this.
Actively camping, talking about camping, stocking up, like collecting and
Gear.
gear. Yeah,
Hmm.
like preparing and buying and planning gear for our
Hmm.
camping trips and things like that. Yeah, yeah, sure. Okay, it is a
Yeah.
hobby. Okay, on the other side though, I am guilty of starting hobbies and just kind of they
Okay.
end up
Who
kind of
doesn't?
filtering
Who
off.
doesn't?
Yes, I have so many that I have done in my younger
Uh-huh.
years. So when I was a kid, I grew up with a tiger mom. So I had lessons, activities scheduled all the time for me.
Hmm.
My main one that I had for most of my childhood was violin. I
Hmm.
played the violin. I started playing when I was like 4 or 5, and I played it for more than 10 years. I
Wow.
was in an orchestra. I had lessons. I had to
Oh, and
practice
you
every
also
day.
were the first bow.
Violinist,
Uh-huh.
first violinist in orchestra. I wasn't the first. I was like the second. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
it's logistics, but yeah, violin was a really big hobby of mine. I tried picking it up again
Hmm.
recently, and it's tough to get back into it. I'm trying. I'm still trying. I can't practice every day.
Because it's still somewhere in the
Yeah.
archives, right? Your
Yeah.
body's like, oh my God, I kind of know how to do it.
I mean, I know how to do it. I'm still rusty, but getting myself the motivation to practice every day has been a little bit tough. I hopefully when I have a little more time, I'll be able to do that. And then, yeah, when I was a kid, so violin was a big one. I did rhythmic gymnastics for a few years. Yeah, competitively. I
Competitively?
competitively,
Okay,
yeah.
this is new information. I didn't know
I
that.
swam, skated, skied. I did, yeah, a bunch of
Wow.
sports.
Okay, did you guys do that at school? Was it like a part of the curriculum? This was
No,
outside of
outside of
school
school.
because of your
Tiger mom.
tiger mom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was like after school activities. So
Mhm.
after school, I would, go home, eat a snack, and then go off to some lesson of some sort. I feel like I had a lesson almost every day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Okay,
and
you
when
were.
you were a kid, you didn't have anything.
When I was a kid, I didn't do anything. And from time to time, I confront my parents and I'm like, hey, like, what the hell? Why didn't you like send
Yeah.
me to do this, or that? I could have had like some skill. And their answer is like, oh, as if like we could make you do stuff. And I'm like, you kidding me? I was a kid.
I
Like
didn't
you
want to do
made
any
me
of that
do
stuff.
stuff. You made me eat soup every day at 2 p.m. Like you couldn't make me do stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so when I was a kid, I didn't do a lot of things. But when I was a young adult,
Yeah.
I decided that I need to catch up on
Hmm.
all of the things that I missed as a kid. And the first thing that I did, actually, you mentioned the music, I went to the music school and I was like, teach me how to play the piano, but I need a shortcut. So
Teach me how to do it quickly.
exactly. I was 18. I was 18, fresh out of school, first or second year of the university. I
Hmm.
already worked, so I had my own money to pay for the lessons. I was like, teach me how to read the music sheet and just like how to do the all of the stuff.
Yeah.
Because my whole family plays the piano except for me. Yes, it's a
Really?
very sad story.
Even your sister?
Yes, it's a very no, she doesn't. Sorry, she doesn't play. It's on my father's side.
Okay,
Like
I
everyone
see.
plays the piano. So, and we had the piano at home. So they never sent actually my sister to the musical school either. But when I was born, they didn't know where to put the baby crib. So they had to get rid of the piano. And
Oh,
this is something that I'm like always hold a grudge against my parents. Like, how could you? Anyway, so I went to the school and I was like, just teach me how to do that. And the teacher was like, okay. And I have a pretty good memory and I
hmm.
guess muscle memory. So I just learned by heart 3 pieces of music and that's it. And that's it. And now if you sit me at the piano, I know like the notes and where they go, and I know like the position of the fingers on the piano. And if you give me like a very simple sheet of music, my brain would pick up like all of the notes, like what they are. I would probably be able to read them, but I won't be able to like not reproduce, to produce the music, just like by looking at the notes and be like, easy. I won't be able to do it.
Mm. What else did you do in your
Yeah.
1 year?
So, on my 1 year of hobby dedication, I was obsessed with knitting at some year.
Me
And
too.
this obsession was crazy because I would go everywhere with a little purse. And in a purse, I had a ball of yarn and needles. And I
Guilty.
would like knit whatever, everywhere, in the
Guilty as charged.
cafes,
Me too.
in bars, on the bus, just in the street near the coffee shop.
It's very therapeutic.
It's very
Yeah, I was
therapeutic.
in I had a big knitting phase in high school. I also did crocheting for a little while. Loved both of them, but again, just kind of ended up losing interest with
Yeah.
those things.
I just it kind of like faded out, I guess, because
Yeah,
my obsession was crazy. All my family, all my friends, they were walking around wearing my scarves,
me
my
too.
hats, like some
Yeah.
mittens and stuff.
Yeah.
So that I did knitting, and then there was a year when I got into sewing. And it
Mm.
was crazy because I got myself a sewing machine. I was going to the store buying different kinds of fabrics, different kinds of like little
Thread.
small like threads and different like buttons and different like I don't know lace I don't know what they are called like the whole like thing
Lace.
of lace, yeah, just like to put on the hem of the dresses or whatever. And I actually was sewing clothes for myself.
I remember you
And
mentioned
I
that.
do have still a lot of pieces that I have created. I still do have a lot of them. They are not like everyday clothes.
Yeah,
They're mostly like some fancy dresses, but I do have them.
that's
And
really
that was
cool.
a very cool hobby. I really
Yeah,
love that.
that is a really cool
Yeah.
hobby. How come you stopped?
I moved to
Oh, yeah,
Canada.
no sewing
Yeah. And
machine.
at some
Got it.
point, I was like, you know what? I should probably just get a sewing machine here. But then I never did. And
Mm,
yeah,
just kind of fell off.
yeah.
I also have a few different things.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you because I know that you used to be a runner.
I okay, so yeah, it's a long story, but I was a runner. I loved running my whole life, really. I did get more seriously into running when I was living in Korea, and I was
Mm.
training for a marathon.
Wow.
It was my first marathon that I wanted to run. I had run smaller ones before. I
Mhm.
don't know why I didn't want to do half first, like a
Oh,
half
okay,
marathon,
that's what I wanted
but
to ask
I had
you.
done like 10Ks, 15Ks, thinking like, and then, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do a full marathon.
Gotta go for
Anyway,
kilometers. Easy.
I was practicing pretty hardcore, and one time when I was running on the treadmill, I was just going too fast and I
Mm.
fell and I tore my ligament and it never really healed properly. So since then, it's been really tough for me to do anything super active,
Mhm.
like running
Mhm.
and jumping and things like that, because it still does hurt
Mhm.
every now and then. So that was kind of a sad,
Oh, yeah, it is a sad.
forced way
Yeah.
to stop a hobby. Other kind of active things that I've done is I did have another stint doing Pilates for a while. I
Okay.
was really into Pilates.
Sorry, here or in Korea?
Here. I was really into Pilates when I was in high school at some point, and then I got more into it again a few years ago, and then for some reason just kind of stopped. I think my membership kind of
Okay.
came to an end, and then I
Okay, this is
said
how
that,
it ends
yeah, and then I said that I was going to
most
keep
of the
going, and then I
time.
ended up not.
Uh-huh.
I also had a period where I was very into one type of yoga called Bikram yoga.
Bikram yoga.
Yes. So
What is this?
I joined a yoga studio, and Bikram yoga is a form of hot yoga. So
Oh.
it's hot yoga, it's 90 minutes, and it's 30 something poses. So
Hmm.
every time you go, it's 90 minutes and you do these poses, right?
So you do the pose, you hold for a certain amount of
Yes.
time.
You go as far as you can. I think you do it twice, so it's like two different
Hmm.
rounds of it. Anyway,
Sorry, while it's also like steaming hot
very
in you.
hot. Yes,
Hmm.
in hot yoga room. I was kind of part of this yoga studio. They do something called spirit, what is it called? Spirit sessions or spirit members or something, where basically you can go for free, but you clean the studio.
Oh,
So
okay.
a few times a week or a couple times a week,
Cool.
I would go to the yoga studio,
Hmm.
go for the lessons, and then I would stay, close up the store, close up the studio,
Hmm.
clean, so wipe down the mirrors and the floors and
Hmm.
everything,
Hmm.
showers, and then I would get
Nice.
my lessons for free. So I was doing it for a while. And then this documentary came out about the guy who started Bikram yoga, and he's like a cult leader.
No.
So it felt morally
Wrong to
wrong
support
to
it.
continue
Oh my
doing
God.
Bikram yoga. And I could do other forms of yoga, but
Yeah.
that kind of turned me off from yoga for a while. And then I just never got back into
What
it.
is the documentaries
It's
called?
called, I think it's the Wild Wild Country one. It's really famous one. So you
Okay.
should watch it. It's really, but that was my little period of yoga. And I
Very
was very into
interesting.
yoga. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there are, you know what? There are so many different hobbies that I've like picked up. And
Yeah.
do you have any others that you've started
I
and stopped?
I got into puzzles during COVID,
Oh yeah.
of course, like so many other people. I mean, I have been doing puzzles like from time to time. Someone would give me like a puzzle and I would be like, oh my God, awesome puzzle. So I
Yeah.
would do it and forget about it.
Yeah.
But then it was COVID, of course. Everybody was bored out of their wits. So I started doing puzzles and I had a very specific thing. I was doing the puzzles of very famous paintings.
Mm.
And I had like I would do the puzzle, I would glue it, I didn't even know that there is a special glue that they sell
Yeah.
that you can
Puzzle
like
glue.
glue the puzzles.
Yeah.
So I would glue them and I would hang them on the walls in my apartment. Right now it's just one left that it's still hanging
Yeah.
because it was crazy. Like it got out of control because I did like Van Gogh, Salvador Dali, Da Vinci, Gustav Klimt, who else was there? Someone
A
else
lot of
was there,
artists.
like a
Yeah.
lot of artists. So I
Okay.
had like my own art gallery in my
Cool.
apartment, and I was crazy about those puzzles. They were not the big ones like 2000 or 3000, they were standard like 1000 piece puzzles,
Hmm.
but I would go through them
Yeah.
like super fast. And then after COVID ended, I was just like, whatever. And a couple of years ago, I was at a Disney World. And in a Disney World, one of my biggest interests was the Star Wars world
Hmm.
part of the park. And when we went to the gift shop there, I gave my friend that the one that was with me was Juliana. I gave her my wallet and I was like, dude, here's my wallet. Don't give it to me until I choose just one thing from this gift shop, just one thing that I can pick up and
Hmm.
buy. She's like, okay. So I was walking around like for hours. I mean, of course, not hours, but it took me a while. And I picked up a puzzle, a beautiful puzzle of
Hmm.
Darth Vader, my favorite character. So I bought the puzzle and it took me, guys, it took me a year
To finish it?
to finish it. It
Wow.
faded in the sun because it was lying on the my dining
Yeah,
table that
yeah.
I rarely use. And like the sun was shining like directly at it.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
faded in the sun. So I was like putting it together like very slowly. So it took me a year. It faded in the
Wow.
sun. So by the end, like when I was like, okay, I have to finish it, it was so difficult to do it because like the
The
pieces
colors were
won't
different.
match. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, I still enjoy puzzles, and actually, maybe last year, Hannah and I traded like a
I gave you,
puzzle.
yeah, we
Hannah
traded.
gave me a Star Wars puzzle. I haven't even started putting it together. It's still in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gave me a Harry Potter one, and
Yes.
that one I did. Very tough because it was essentially all black. It
Yes.
was
It
the
was a beautiful.
castle,
It's a castle in the
but
lake.
it was essentially
Mm-hmm.
all black. So that
Mm-hmm.
one took a while for me to put together. But
Yeah.
so many things, so many puzzles.
Yes.
Maybe it would be fun to hear about some hobbies that you guys have, our listeners. And you know what? Maybe some ideas
Some ideas
for
would be
new
nice.
hobbies.
Yes.
That would be great.
Yeah.
So email us at eslpodukateme@gmail.com and give us a follow at PoducateMe on Instagram.
Yes. And don't go anywhere because the language lab is coming right up next.
Bye.
Bye.
Stay tuned. We have the Language Lab coming up next. Welcome back to Language Lab, where we dissect language one oddly specific hobby at a time.
We definitely do. And in our latest episode, we talked about hobbies that we do now, hobbies that we abandoned dramatically, and hobbies that we swore would become our second personality for approximately 2 weeks.
Yes, we had a lot of
Mhm.
those. All right, first up on our vocabulary list is Tiger Mom. And this is a term for it's a term for a very specific type of parent. Usually they're quite strict, they can be pretty demanding, and they're quite focused on achievement, schedules, organization. Imagine this type of parent, and
Mhm.
this is what you would kind of call a
You
tiger
get
mom.
it, tiger mom. Yeah. Dedicate. To dedicate means to give a lot of time, energy, or effort to something, and sometimes someone too. So, some people dedicate years to mastering how to play the piano, and others dedicate years to reorganizing
Yeah,
playlists.
sure. Brain teaser. Brain teasers are, it's a type of puzzle, and it's a type of puzzle or problem that's designed to make you think. It means that you're teasing your brain, you're playing games with your brain.
Mhm. Trivia. So, trivia is a small and interesting fact or a detail So the internet runs almost entirely on trivia and cat videos or dog videos.
I
But
love trivia videos.
yeah,
They're fun.
also there is a type of game which is called trivia. You can have like trivia nights at some bars or cafes
Yeah,
where they organize like thematic, like let's say they're like Harry Potter trivia, and you can come with a team, or maybe I'm not sure if you can do it alone. Because
probably.
usually, yeah, people do it as a team, and so there is the person like a host, and they read some questions about Harry Potter, and you as a team, like you have to discuss the answer, and then like who answers first, you get the points, and see
It's
who
fun.
wins.
Very fun.
Hmm.
Next up is an expression that we use, a casual expression, and it is peace out. Peace is actually, this is a symbol where you hold your index finger and your middle finger up, peace, and it is used for saying goodbye. So
Hmm.
when we say peace out, it means, hey, I'm leaving.
Hmm. The next word is the word lore. I love this word so much. So, lore is a background story, mythology, or some deep knowledge about something. And you guys have probably heard the word folklore,
Yeah.
which means like that stories that were passed down generations.
Easter egg.
Ooh,
I like this word too, or I like this expression,
uh-huh.
because I also just love Easter eggs. I love finding Easter eggs. So, Easter eggs are hidden details, maybe a joke or a secret or like an inside piece of information that's hidden inside of usually a movie or a TV show, but it can also be put in any other sort of media
Hmm.
or games. So it's almost like a little hint or something that, if you're really interested in this, you'll understand what this means. So, there are a lot of Easter eggs in like different movies. Sometimes they will tease another second movie coming or something like
Or
that, or a
season.
backstory or something like that. They're really fun when you learn about them.
Hmm. Recurring. If something is recurring, it means that it happens repeatedly, like a recurring hobby pattern, excitement, obsession, abandoned supplies. Then again, after a year, woo, excitement, obsession, abandoned supplies. Vicious
Yes,
circle.
that is a very recurring thing in my life for
Hmm.
sure. Sill, we used to talk about the plants on Helen's classroom's windowsill. And this is the flat ledge that's at the bottom of the window. And usually a lot of people, they can put plants there so that the plants can get some sun.
Yeah, not in Canada though, not in the apartment buildings in Canada, because as I said, like they're so tiny, those windowsills. I hate it so much. Anyway, the next word that we have is a plant clipping. A plant clipping or a plant cutting is a severed, means that you took it off, like cut it off or just like broke it off. A severed piece of a stem or a leaf or root from a parent plant and you use it to grow a new genetically identical plant. So it's basically like cloning
Yeah.
the plants that you
It's
have.
like a new plant baby.
Hmm.
I think all of the plants that I've ever gotten have been from clippings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, from seeds. Yeah.
Crib. A crib is a baby's bed. When you see those little, it's like a little tiny bed and then jail cell kind of
Yeah.
walls. That's a crib. Also, it is a slang word to mean your house. So
Hmm.
it was used a long time ago, especially during the 2000, like early 2000s. There was a show on MTV, a really popular show called Cribs, where celebrities
I would take people to
would
their home.
tour. Yeah, they
Hmm.
would show their house, and it was very, very popular show.
Nice. The next word on our list is the word composer, and composer is a person who writes music. So composers, they create beautiful symphonies, but the rest of us just create chaotic shower concerts, I guess.
Learn by heart. When we learn something by heart, it means that we memorize it completely. So if you learn how to play a song on piano and you do not need to read the music, the sheet music, then that means you have learned it by heart.
Mhm. The next word is the word knitting, pronunciation alert, because there is letter K at the beginning, which is silent. And to knit means create fabric by looping yarn with needles. So you have special
Two
needles.
needles.
You have two of them and you create these thingies, beautiful thingies.
And another kind of, it's a spin-off of knitting, I guess.
I don't
It's
know
very
which came
similar.
first.
I
Yeah.
don't know which came first either, but there is something called crocheting, and it is similar in that you are creating fabric or you're creating a piece of clothing like a scarf or a hat or a sweater. But with crocheting, you are using one needle, but the needle is hooked at the end. So you just use this one needle and you loop over and over to create
Mm-hmm.
something.
Mm-hmm. Sewing, we are following the pattern
Yes.
of the hobbies that we talked
Yeah.
about. So the next one is sewing, and sewing means when you join fabric using needle and thread. You can do it with just like your hands or arms,
Mhm.
but actually there is a sewing machine, like a special gadget that you can use to sew clothes
Yep,
or whatever you want.
that's right. Next up, we have the word ligament. And I had mentioned in the episode that I tore my ligament while I was training for a marathon. The ligament it's a part of your body and it is this part of tissue that connects your bones together. So it is a very important part of your body and it makes sure that your bones move painlessly. So it is kind of a big deal if
It is a
you
big deal.
injure that
Yeah,
area.
don't do that.
Don't do it.
Stint. Stint is a period of time spent doing something, like Hannah was telling us about her yoga stint or Pilates stint. So there was a period of time in Hannah's life when she was really into those kinds of exercising.
Out of their wits. Great expression. When somebody is out of their wits, it means that you are feeling super worried or super stressed or super confused. Like it is this feeling where you're not in control of your emotions.
Hmm.
Your wits basically means your like rational
Thinking.
thinking. And so you can say oh, this person is out of their wits. It means they're a little bit cuckoo, crazy. Or you can also say another expression where you say you have your wits about you. Like make sure
Mhm.
you have your wits about you. And that means that you are calm and in control of your
Mhm.
feelings, basically.
And the last but not least on our list is the word fade. And to fade, in the meaning that we used it, fade in the sun, it means to lose color or brightness over time due to sunlight. You can say it about fabric or even hair,
Yeah.
because in the summer, when I spend a lot of time in the sun, my hair fades actually, and it gets this like very beautiful, even fairer color.
Ooh,
Yes,
cool.
they can also do that.
You can also say your interest in certain hobbies can
Exactly.
fade.
But yeah, not in the sun.
Not in the sun.
Hmm.
All right. Well, some hobbies, they come and go, but the supplies somehow stay forever.
Yep. And whether you're knitting scarves, memorizing movie lore, or aggressively buying hobby equipment that you will use twice, we support your journey.
So keep listening, keep learning, and
Educate
educate yourself.
yourself.